as we talked about, not only are you a first-time head coach, you're a first-time head coach in the new era of NIL, and not just NIL, the combination of NIL and the transfer portal together is just crazy. Maybe the good news is that everyone's kind of figuring it out together, right?
Yeah.
No one really has a blueprint. But when it comes to recruiting high school and transfer portal players, how much of a topic is NIL actually discussed? It's talked about in the media a ton.
Guys, here's the reality. It is summertime. Summertime means more fun, more ladies, more time on the beach. And what's crucial during that time? You have to look good, top to bottom, literally. The way I make sure I'm looking good and fresh and light every day in the summer is with Manscaped. So guys, go to manscaped.com and use my code ADAMB for 20% off and free shipping to get what you need to be feeling good this summer.
Is it discussed with the recruits as much as the media thinks it is?
I think it comes up with the majority of recruits. Yeah. It comes up with every transfer, and it comes up in some way, shape, or form with every high school player.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's, for some families, they want to know more than others. Mm-hmm. But I think the opportunity, to do something in the name, image, and likeness space is on everybody's mind now. Some of them are getting it at the high school level. And so, it's just part of it now. It's a conversation over here about your resources that you have, sports psych, spiritually, nutritionally, and then over here it's resources in name, image, and likeness and opportunities. And over here it's strength and conditioning, and here it's the linebacker pedigree on your staff. I mean, it's just another part of the conversation that's important to families.
When it comes to NIL, the portal, and the current state of college football, is there anything that you think should change right now? It's a topic that every coach is discussing this offseason. What's the solution? Because most coaches I've heard talk don't think the current model is sustainable.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would say that. It's hard to manage. It's going to be tougher and tougher to fund. As we stack successes, roster retention becomes more expensive. But I think we need some consistency where everybody's operating kind of in the same realm. I don't think the NCAA meant for it to be recruiting inducements, and that's what it is. Mm-hmm. I'm all about our players making a profit off their name, image, and likeness. Mm-hmm. That I'm for 100%. Recruiting inducement and guys being able to step up and do things that normally were done,
under the table,
out back or where, it's that's not good for our game.
Yeah.
The integrity of what we're doing and how we're doing it, it makes it very challenging. We're going to do it the right way here. Mm-hmm. I don't want anybody to come to Virginia Tech because of name, image, and likeness. Mm-hmm. But I also need to be competitive in that space, and we are. When I meet with all 125 guys at the end of the spring, the last question I asked them was, do you like it here? Mm-hmm. Right? And it's twofold. It's I want to know, but also because of the transfer portal window that's about to open. And, and when 100 of those guys said, Coach, I don't just like it here, I love it here.
Yeah.
That means something to me.
Doing something right.
We had a guy recruited off our roster, attempted to be recruited off our roster. And in the end, we weren't able to do some of the things that some other schools were offering him. Mm-hmm. And he was not in the transfer portal.
I was going to say.
He wasn't in the portal. But he was forthright with us. And I was forthright with him. I said, we can't go there, but we'll be competitive as we can. Mm-hmm. But do you want to be here? Do you love Tech?
Yeah.
Coach, I love it here. I want to be here. Well, let's make this work, man.
Yeah.
We'll make this work. You want to be here? we'll find a way to make this work.
The other topic I thought would be really cool to hear your take on is the balance between with the transfer portal era, where you can go flip your roster in 1 year. We're seeing it at different schools where they've just churned through their whole roster. The balance between the pressure to win right now and maybe take more transfer kids and less high school kids, and then also wanting to build your program for long-term success, which I think you would probably agree usually comes from taking more high school kids and being able to develop them in your program. What's that balance like daily for you of the immediate satisfaction of making everyone happy and building it for 10 years?
Yeah, it's not really a question for me.
Yeah.
We're going to build this program on high school players. That's what's right for Tech. From our footprint, develop them. That's what's right for Tech. I'm not saying that's right everywhere. We're going to go to the transfer portal for immediate needs.
Yeah.
If we're doing our recruiting evaluations the way we need to, and if we're investing in these schools in our footprint the way we need to, and we're taking, let me say this, we're not song and dancing kids to come here. We're doing a hell of a job having them understand this experience and our people. If that's what they want and they choose Tech, then we got a great chance of having a great 3, 4, 5 years with them. And there is no transfer portal. But, we'll go to the portal where needed. We signed 26 high school players last year. And, 22 captains, 21 state championships in their background, 800 win percentage as seniors.
Wow.
That's who we're going to build this with, Maturity, solid foundation. And then, the challenging thing about the transfer portal is you just don't know near enough about these guys, right?
Yeah, you got to act fast,
You spend 3 or 4 years recruiting a high school player, and now all of a sudden in 2 or 3 weeks you're making a decision on a transfer. So the more we can know, we got several transfers that got Virginia roots. High school ball here, college ball here, one or the other. Played at their previous institution for a good friend of ours, where we can know more to make sure that we're getting the right fit for our roster, for our locker room. Because, you could be super talented, but if you're not right for the locker room, it's going to backfire. That's just not worth it to me.